There is a common belief that God has not made anyone poor, but has instead given everyone enough to live their lives. If someone is lacking in what they need, God always arranges for them to have what they require. Often, we judge our wealth or poverty by comparing ourselves to the riches of others. For example, if we have 10 rupees and the person next to us has 100 rupees, we might start to perceive ourselves as poor, while seeing the other person as rich. However, we seldom consider the effort someone puts into earning their wealth, the work they do, or their specific needs. Instead, we tend to focus on the wealth of others and make assumptions based on what we see. This story of Buddha and God will help us understand the true meaning of wealth and teach us an important lesson about how to view our own lives. The story begins with a king who invited Lord Gautama Buddha to stay in his kingdom for a few days. Buddha agreed to the king's invitation and arrived in the kingdom with some of his disciples. The king, eager to seek Buddha's wisdom, requested that he stay and help solve the problems of the people, teaching them how to follow the righteous path. Buddha agreed and decided to hold a religious council for 3 days in the kingdom. The news of Buddha's arrival spread like wildfire across the land, and many people came to attend the gathering on the first day. As expected, many people gave him alms, and the beggar was able to gather a substantial amount of money by the end of the day. The same situation occurred on the second day as well. People continued to visit the religious gathering, but the beggar noticed something different. On their way to the gathering, the people seemed sad and distressed. However, as they left the gathering after meeting Buddha, their faces were filled with happiness and contentment. They not only gave the beggar alms, but they did so cheerfully, as if they had been uplifted by the teachings of Buddha. The beggar observed this change in people for 2 days, and by the third day, fewer people came through the crossroads. The beggar started to worry, as he had not earned as much money as he had hoped. He realized that Buddha's teachings seemed to be making everyone happy, and he wondered why his life had not changed. In a moment of reflection, the beggar decided to attend the gathering himself and seek Buddha's guidance on how to improve his life. When he arrived at the gathering, there was a long line of people waiting to meet Buddha. After much difficulty, the beggar finally reached the front of the line. He bowed before Buddha and said, "Lord, everyone in this kingdom is happy and prosperous, but why am I still poor?" Buddha looked at the beggar with compassion and replied, "You are poor, because you always ask others for help, but you never offer anything in return. You expect others to give you wealth and alms, but you have nothing to give in exchange. This is why you feel poor." The beggar was taken aback and replied, "Lord, what can I give to others? I live by begging. What do I have to offer?" Buddha remained silent for a moment before responding, "You are foolish to think that you have nothing to give. God has given everyone plenty to share. You have a smile that you can offer to others, a smile that can give them hope and encouragement. You have a voice that you can use to speak kindly and praise others. You have hands that you can use to help those in need. You have a healthy body that you can use to work hard, rather than relying on begging. A person who has these gifts from God can never truly be poor. You are poor only because of your mindset. As soon as you change your way of thinking, you will begin to see yourself as rich, just like everyone else." Hearing Buddha's words, the beggar began to understand the value of his own life. He realized that his poverty was not because of a lack of material wealth, but because of his mindset. He had been focused on what he lacked, rather than appreciating what he had. Buddha's words inspired him to change his perspective and start living a life of service and gratitude. The lesson from this story is that true wealth is not measured by material possessions, but by our mindset and the gifts we have to offer others. We often compare ourselves to others, thinking that their wealth or happiness is a reflection of our own shortcomings. However, this comparison is misleading. God has made everyone rich in their own way, providing us with the tools to live a fulfilling life. The key is to recognize the value of what we have and to shift our focus from what we lack to what we can give. A healthy body, for example, is one of the most valuable gifts we can receive. No matter how rich we are, if our body is not healthy, money becomes meaningless. On the other hand, even if we are poor in material wealth, if we have a healthy body, we are already rich. In addition, we have other gifts, such as our ability to smile, to speak kindly, and to help others, that can enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. By changing our thinking and recognizing the wealth we already possess, we can shift our lives in a positive direction. Beggar ES Transformation is a reminder that we all have the power to change our mindset and embrace the richness of life. Rather than focusing on what we don't have, we should appreciate what we do have and share it with others. Only then will we truly understand the richness of life and begin to experience the true wealth that God has given us all. So, next time you find yourself comparing your life to others, remember the beggar's story. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you can give, and you will start to see yourself as rich in every way.